Hey, welcome to the stream. And I'm going to do a little walkthrough of FL Studio, how I set things up. And you can sort of look at my workflow, see how things are connected, and a little look at the behind the scenes of how I make tracks. FL Studio has gone through some different changes over the years. I started using it back when we called it Fruity Loops, and it was a pirated version. And now I have the full thing, and this is how I set it up. Usually when you open it up, you have so your main spot where you can put in samples. You can put in instruments and sounds. So like if you want to put in a kick, you just drag it in. The one thing about FL Studio I really enjoy is that you can do things many different ways. And yeah, so I'll just sort of play around and let you know what I'm doing. Different templates is what I'll sort of go through today. Obviously, like you have your mixer here, you have your arrangement or your playlist with your different tracks, and I'll show you how I've set up my default template in FL Studio with everything ready to go in a more professional manner. Let me just open up this All right, now you can hear me again. Let me just put this on so I get a little bit more volume. Yeah, let's go about there. Okay, and yeah. So this is, obviously there's going to be a lot going on. But this is my default template in FL. Usually I have one file over here with all my sounds, and then I back that up with Cloud, so I can use it on different operating systems and different computers. And I do that with my project folders as well. So let me see if I actually have that. No. Oh yeah, my projects. Yeah, so you can put them in here. And each file of Fruity Loops, FL Studio, is a separate folder over here. So when you do save, you're going to have a folder for each project by default, which is excellent. So basically, let's go to the most important thing, which is maybe your kick drum right at the start. You have your tempo up here. So what I've done is, here's my kick. I'll go to pattern. Okay, there's my kick sound. If you click on kick up here, this is how you select your different tracks or patterns. You can click it right there and then click into your track in the playlist, and it'll show up. So if you right click on one of your blank tracks, let's go down here, do an empty one. You can go track mode and assign to an audio track, and that's how I did it. So the kick is actually in there. You can also assign instrument tracks, which is really good, but I've sort of set up a different way for my session. So basically in here in the playlist, this kick is linked to the kick up here, and I've renamed it. Usually it would just show up as one, and you drag this up and down to flip through, or you can probably use those arrows. So as you can hear, I've got a kick, and then if I switch to song, it's in there and it's linked. And now we go to the mixer, and I've created a spot here for my kick. I've got it looped. My mixer is the most complicated setup I have. Each different track sort of, kick is separated here, but it actually loops sidechain to the bass, and then it goes into my pre-master and my master. So if you want to create a new spot, you just go like that, right click, and then insert one. And then these little arrows, so if I've got my kick here, it's sidechained here, and if I want to loop, or I want to link it to different spots, so I can have it linked here, or I could link with like my drum master here. That's how I've got it set up. So all these are color coordinated, and so I've got my snare hat, so all my percussion is looped into a drum send, and so I could put whatever effects just on the percussion. Like here I might put a compressor. So let's just do like an old school FL Studio compressor right there. So now my percussion is, showing. You can turn your kick off there. Let's go like that. Maybe I'll show you, my pre-master here. I've got a limiter on the pre-master, -2 dB. This is a Waves Ultra Maximizer stereo limiter, which adds some compression and a few other things. And then on my master chain, I've got a Waves mastering plugin on it. Oh, here I can show you it there. So I can see what my true output is. So I do a lot of mastering right in my programs. That's not really traditional. Usually you would record a song and then just do the mastering after. You export your stems, each instance of your session. Let's go to, so let's see how I've got this set up. I've got kick. I've got a sampler here. I use Splice, and that's to sort of hear my sample. So I've got an extra spot there, a pre-master, and then this is my master with my line out to, you can't see that there, but that's, it's down here where my line out is. So kick, mastering, sampler, kick, percussion, bass here, and that gets sent here. Here's my sidechain plugin, and I'm just using FL sort of standard routing with the compressor here with the sidechain going there, and that's just from my kick into the bass. So when I do have kick on here, and then this is important, sidechaining is always important, and then I'll go to my bass track. Let's do a sub, same thing. Let's go down here and go, where's my sub? That's keys, pad, sub, put it in the sub track, and I'm just gonna, I do have my keyboard set up, but let's just draw it in, piano roll. Oh, now we're gonna make a song. So there we go. Now we have our sub bass, and our sub bass is going here. It's going into my bass. Sidechained in here. It's a little quiet. Add some gain. And see, you can see the kick is actually sidechaining. So if you mute the kick, now you're not getting the sidechain in there, and that's linked from sidechain 1 here. And then put the kick back in. There we go. All right, so that's how my bass section is set up. You know, keys, and I have this all set up in my template that I just open FL, and it's already sitting here waiting for, you know, infinite things to be added to your tracks. Yeah, I've got keys, pad, lead. So down here, I've got keys, pad, lead, different programs already preset with sounds that I like. So like keys, I'll show you what I got. Contact, emotional at piano. I don't even know where I got this, but yeah, it's a good piano. Just regular. I also like some of the splice instruments sounds. I've got them here. It's not connected, but I'm not going to worry about showing you that. Pads, so good old, the original Serum. So there we go. And if we go to the mixer, you can see it's coming through there, going through a master again, and then the master gets linked to your pre-master. So that's kind of how the routing goes. This is more for extra. This is usually loops or sounds. Sometimes it's patterns that I link in here. And if you go to my playlist, I don't even have them preset in here. So usually I'd create a new track and then route them. But it's just nice to have things on the labeled, color coordinated, and routed to sort of your master and your pre-master. Same thing with this, your crash. Let's get some water. Electric guitar, bass, vocals. You can see my vocals are coming through because I'm doing video. But how I have this set up, this is sort of the probably our next spot to take a look at how I route for live recording. Basically what I do is these are sort of your master finished tracks when you're doing live recording. So I've got the mic here right now coming through the system from my audio interface using the Volt interface in line 3, and you would select there, and then this is sort of your input. So I don't usually have plugins on my input. I just use that for raw audio files coming in, or audio waves coming in. That gets routed into a vocal, and this is where I can put tracks so I can hear what it's going to sound like. I can put other effects on there, and I sort of keep those separate, and then once it's recorded I route it back into this vocals track. And again, if we go to the playlist, here's my vocals here, here's my mic input, here's your little input link. So it's input 3, and I would have this recording right there, ready to record, and you can see that. So if I record, make sure it's recording audio there. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. So you can see da da da. It's coming through here, and it's actually still coming through there, and I will drag it down to my vocals track, make sure it's routed properly to 34, and then this. So that's how I do live recording. That's how I've got it set up. It's a little bit clumsy. Like if you were doing a rock song, maybe this isn't the way you would do it. I would probably use more organized around just this for recording rock, just because it's mostly audio files. But that is the great thing about FL Studio, is there's many ways you can organize. You can move these things around really quickly and snap them into place, using your quantization and locking to those different things. Okay, let's go back to the mixer. And then I just have some empty pre-made slots that are routed there. These sort of detached panel here, this is your effects slots. And these are basically effects that are routed to their own channel in a set. That you can route multiple things. So like if I was down here, I could take my kick, route it into one of my effects slots. You can see it moves around, and I've color coordinated it as well. I could take my tape, that, and say I want my sub bass to also have reverb. So these both have reverb separately, but from the same effects. And I've got some waves, true verb on here. So you can hear that. Now everything except the vocals has the same there. And let's put some there. And if it was like this, you could take the vocals and then turn the amount right here. You can sort of see it through my screen there. But yeah, of course that's kind of ridiculous to put reverb on bass and sub, but you can do that. You can route it. So I'm going to just take that off just for sanity's sake. Okay, that's enough of my weird song. So that's the mixer. You can basically see what I'm doing there. You can see recording live, how that's routed. You see the kicks. You can see the playlist, like when I've got instruments, and then the empty slots. What else do I have on here? I've got a breakbeat sort of setup as well. I'll show you that. So that's just the FPC, sort of an MPC. And I've got this routed into my MIDI controller for pads, and I can load sounds into here and sort of have a MPC setup. And then that's routed into track 2, but each one of these pads is actually routed into my percussion. Let's see if it's actually set up. Oh no, I don't have it routed that way. But you can actually, each one of these sounds, so if you had like a kick here, you could go output, and I think it would be output 3. No, that didn't work. 4. Let's try 2. Well, I have yeah, the way I have routed it, you can send the outputs here for each individual sound, and then you can save these templates in your master template. I've got that routed through to my breakbeat track in there. So that's like a common thing that I'll do, is I'll have breakbeats. So it's one way of doing it. You can always do it with a loop. What else do I have? Yeah, and then splice. And what's this on the end? Oh, that's the audio recordings. So they'll come in and see, you can see that came through on the vocals recording track. And that is sort of how I have FL set up. I don't think there's very much else. It's pretty straightforward, like once you get this saved. So what I do is if you go to General Settings and File, here, let's do it this way. Save as template right here, and you can change the name, and that would be how you do that. And then new from template, change default template is right here. Oh, you can actually see my file windows. Interesting. But yeah, you go to File, and then go to Save as Template, and then change default, and you'll have your default templates right there. I've got a whole bunch of different default templates that I save, but most of the time it's just updating this template and adjusting it for my workflow, the type of music. Like if I'm doing lots of electronic, which is usually what I do, like it'd be nice to make one that's more rock, that would maybe do the recording a little bit different instead of doing this sort of routing madness, because once you have a lot of individual tracks with lots of takes, it gets messy because you're always having to move things around, which I found into. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to end the stream, and that's my FL Studio workflow.